Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another walk and talk. Getting a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of exercise out in some different scenery here today. And so we are going to be talking crypto, we're going to be talking a little bit about what's been going on in the space most recently and what I think some of this might mean for the wider crypto market. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful, informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So, what's the big topic for today? Well, there'll be no surprise really. This is something that I guess we've been kind of talking about a little bit and alluding to probably over the last kind of few months or so. And that is that BlackRock have finally kind of applied for and submitted documents for an Ethereum spot ETF. Again, this isn't anything unusual. This is something that's kind of like natural kind of progression in the crypto space. I guess the bigger question when it comes to ETFs and Bitcoin ETFs or Ethereum ETFs is, what is the next big ETF? Okay, because there's going to be so many different ones out there, different kind of projects, different tokens, coins, layer ones, and all these kind of things that could potentially be another ETF on the horizon. Let me know in the comments below what you think the next ETF is likely to be. Are we talking XRP? Are we talking Polkadot, Algorand, Cardano? Right, I guess the list is reasonably endless. Let me know what your thoughts are on the next ETF. But let's talk a little bit around the Ethereum spot ETF, right, and why this is actually really positive for crypto generally, right? Obviously, BlackRock is massive. It's going to open up the floodgates to investment for Ethereum at the spot level, rather than just futures and kind of trying to predict out whether you're going to be bullish, bearish, and going to be gambling on the market. This actually means that people are going to be having and holding the actual assets, so Ethereum. And so this is going to be a bit of a game changer for ETH. Obviously, anyone who's kind of an OG of the channel knows I'm not a big pro ETH kind of guy. I do think that Ethereum has kind of a shelf life to it. And interestingly enough, I think this potentially does change things quite a bit. So an Ethereum spot ETF does allow for some pretty decent exposure for Ethereum, and that could be pretty massive in the future. Now, just like Bitcoin spot ETFs, we are not expecting, massive upsurge straight away. We can expect to see maybe a bit of a kind of hope or hype and FOMO in the Ethereum ecosystem a little bit, but for the most part, just like the Bitcoin ETF, none of these things are instantaneous. So we are going to be looking for approval. Okay, that's going to be the first thing that the SEC are going to have to give the Ethereum spot ETF. And then, of course, once they have the approval, once BlackRock have approval, this is on Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're going to have to actually build the product. How do they actually issue such a thing, and what kind of timeline is involved in that? I personally think we're probably going to be a good 6 months out on a Bitcoin spot ETF actually launching. And we could be a good kind of 8 to 9 months out on an Ethereum spot ETF launching. So what you might find is a short term, there's kind of like this FOMO or fear of missing out, getting into an asset nice and early before the launch of an ETF. And then of course you'll probably see a lot of sell-off from that, a bit of a sell the news event potentially on the news that an approval for these ETFs has happened. So that's kind of my thoughts and opinions on that. I think we're likely to see a little bit of a sell-off occur when we see approvals, but ultimately this is all positive because it is building us up towards completing and actually having a finished product for investment and for the billions of dollars to start flowing into the Bitcoin ETF and into the Ethereum ETF. Now, what does this mean? Essentially is you're not just adding a few $100 billion to the market cap. I think a lot of people misunderstand how the market cap of things actually work, and they look at the couple of $100 billion getting added to the market cap of Bitcoin and they try to predict out what the price might be based on that. Understanding that the market cap is just a simple calculation of price multiplied by supply. What we're actually talking about here is providing $200 or so billion of liquidity to a Bitcoin spot ETF. And that actually means that you could potentially fuel $500 billion in market cap. Okay, because the understanding that liquidity is key here rather than just thinking about market cap. Market cap itself can be useful if you're just trying to rank where you think projects have value, but it doesn't actually show you value, doesn't show you liquidity, doesn't show you the amount of money that's gone into a project. It's kind of misleading in that regard. So what you want to do is you want to focus in on, okay, well, what would happen if you provide $200 billion of liquidity into the market for Bitcoin? What would happen if you were to provide $200 billion of liquidity into the Ethereum ETF and into the Ethereum ecosystem? Well, I think you're going to see a very, very rapid growth in price. And so rapid, in fact, I think we're going to see some very, very nice, juicy all-time highs for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I do want to stress that I'm not expecting it to happen instantaneously. I'm not expecting it to happen overnight. And I am expecting us to kind of have this last pullback as almost like a last opportunity to get into these assets before the bullish market starts. So I'm looking for a big retracement on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's going to be one of those kind of moments where a lot of retail investors kind of fear that maybe they're still in the bear market, they haven't kind of left that bear market, and ultimately, you know, prices are still going down cheaper and they shouldn't buy, right? I think it's going to be quite misleading from that kind of front. I think it is going to be the last opportunity to really heavily accumulate these altcoins such as Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, Solana, even Bitcoin at these low levels before that big push to the upside. But that's my thoughts on the matter. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm going to leave this video right there, continue with my walk. And if you have found it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.